We'll jump over to business from City Council. City Council reports. Councilmember Buckley.
I attended a number of days at the Yuba Center Fair. The new format at the fair seemed to work out for them. We're interested to see what their final numbers are and what their bottom line was, and hopefully that was a beneficial move related to the operation of the fair itself. Attended the Government Relations and Personnel Affairs Committee meeting at SACOG. Once again, looking at environmental documents that are being commented on in regard to Valero moving crude through the region, and we certainly don't know what that path of travel is for this crude, but they have stepped up. Valero kind of stepped up their game and are wanting to move a more volatile product by train down to Benicia for refining. Also received more information on our metropolitan transportation plan, and as a component of that, there will be some public outreach coming forward. And I'm just happy to note that the Tea Garden House, Cindy Payne, has made that facility available to SACOG for one of the community outreach programs here in Yuba City. So that will be a great component. Attended the Yuba City Unified School District meeting. This is a government meeting at the district office. Talked, primarily about some of the different courses that are available and ways that the community can become involved in. And one of those, and it continues to come up, is their life management program, in which community members can go in and be involved with young or the younger students in bringing forward some of the life management decisions early on, and give them a skill set to be able to be successful and also to return to our community. They also gave us a little bit of a facilities update, their current plan that they've adopted, and they are looking at building 2 new gymnasiums within the Yuba City area, both of them at about 10,000 square feet, which will allow for more use for recreational programs within the Yuba City area. I think that's about it. It's been slow.
Yeah. Councilmember Mon.
Thank you. Some of the same events. The fair was a good event. Committee meetings, went to Yuba Center Transit Authority meeting. We extended the contract for Viola. That's the company that's been administering, managing, running the staffing the Yuba Center Transit, the buses. That was a big, it's about a $15 million contract that they received. Other than that, at the Yuba Center Transit, on the park and ride areas, we've been dealing with video cameras, placing that, making it safe for the riders to park their car there and not worry about it. We had some issues in the past, so we're working on that. In addition to that, and then we have a meeting for the Yuba Center Transit Authority this Thursday evening at 4 at the Yuba County Government Center. Yuba City, not Yuba City, Housing Authority. It's now actually Sutter Nevada Housing Authority, and may become Nevada Yuba Sutter Housing Authority. It's been growing, and a lot of stuff happening there as far as buying some older apartment complex to provide lower income housing. Also rebuilding some of the buildings there at the main campus on Percy and Garden Highway, rebuilding the community center. We've been getting some federal and state funding. Other than that, it's just a lot of the same community, great community. It does slow down a little bit in summer, so it's still busy enough.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Starkey.
Thank you, Mayor Gill. On the 16th, I had the opportunity to represent the city of Yuba City at the Peach Festival reception held at the Mary Aaron Museum. We got to interact with a lot of different government people, elected officials, and it was good for collaboration and building bonding for our communities. On the 17th, I had the opportunity to attend the Regional Transit Authority meeting with Councilman Mon. He's been instrumental in leading the surveillance monitoring of the parking lots so that people feel safe leaving their cars there. Thank you very much for that. And also the regional waste management meeting. I attended the chamber breakfast where Terry from the hospital came and gave us an update. She did not, however, inform us about the state coming in and seizing records. For some reason, she left that out. On the 31st, Assemblyman Dan Logue had a small business forum, which was quite interesting. His attempt was to get different department heads from the different departments in the state that work with small business to help them understand what they need to do in order to be successful and go through all the trials and tribulations of the forms they need to fill out. On the 5th, on National Night Out, I had the opportunity to ride with Officer Eschman to listen to citizens' concerns from different neighborhoods at the parties we attended. And last week, I had the opportunity to spend time in Gray Eagle, California. There was Gray Eagle, California. It's a little community north of Truckee on Highway 89. And they're a small community, and they're facing some tremendous water issues. And so I had about a week's opportunity to spend up there looking at how they're managing the water. And it was quite interesting. So here endeth my report.
Great, thank you. Vice Mayor Duke.
Attended a couple of the same events that Councilmember Starkey did. Just want to know how many of the peach margaritas did you drink at the museum the other night?
Like when we have our closed sessions, I can't comment on that.
All right, very good. All right.
When I got there, no one knew that.
Oh, okay. And then also attended the Yuba Sutter Chamber Business Connection, and where they discussed the updates or gave us an update about what's happening with Ride Out. And then also attended the business forum with Dan Logue, and unfortunately it was a little bit frustrating because as Dan brought in a number of the different people from the state regulatory agencies, and they explained about what all they do, I came to the conclusion at the break. I was talking to Rick Jimerson, and I asked him, I said, why would any business want to do business in California? The regulation in this state has just gotten to be overwhelming as far as of all the requirements for businesses. And I thank Dan for having that public forum, at least exposing this and showing businesses what's out there. I mean, the biggest frustration most businesses have is not knowing what they have to do. And so it was a good session, but it was a bit frustrating in addition. Also participated with the National Night Out, rode with fire department out of Station 1, and we attended a couple neighborhood parties, and it was good to meet with the neighbors and hear their concerns and explain to them what's going on with the city and what we're doing. And so that was a good night. It's always good to get out and meet with the individuals in the public. Sabufka had 3 meetings since we last met, and things are moving well with the levee project. I will say that there are public tours that will be available, and I believe it's on the 28th, but you can check with the Sutter Buttes Flood Control Agency if you're interested in going and taking a tour of the levees and see the work that's going on. If you get an opportunity, I suggest you do that. It's fascinating to see how this process works. Also attended the California Emerging Technologies Fund committee meeting in Sacramento. They are working with the state and rural communities to provide wireless broadband to underserved areas in the state. Public meeting for the proposed sphere of influence that was identified by the county's general plan update south of Bogue Road down to Berry Road. Met with a number of citizens who were very vocal in their concerns about that. So it was good to be there and help represent the city and what that process might look like if we decided to expand that sphere of influence. And then Gilsizer Drainage District meeting and mosquito vector meeting. The mosquito vector, nothing to report out of the Gilsizer. The mosquito vector, there's been 2 human cases of fatalities in Sutter County in the past month because of West Nile virus, and so it's a very serious thing in our area. So if you're out in the evening, wear either some type of mosquito repellent or long sleeve clothing to protect yourself, because it is out there. The district is working very hard to spray in the areas and make it safe for us, but we have to do our part also. That's all I have to report.
Great.
Oh, one other thing.
You missed a meeting.
No, I didn't miss a meeting, but there is a stand down for veterans in the river bottoms, and that'll be Thursday and Friday of this week. And I recommend and hope that all of you can go help support the veterans there. And if you know veterans who need help with different services, that's a good thing for them to go and participate in.
Great, thank you. It'd be nice to say we didn't attend any meetings, but that's never the case. Besides the city council meetings, all of the council members sit on various committees that take up hours and hours of the time. I've been on same committees, but I'm not going to reiterate a lot of the stuff. But one of the things I do want to point out and clarify, the vice mayor and I both sit on the Sutter Buttes Flood Agency committee meetings, which has to do with the levees that are being fixed. And it's probably one of the largest projects in the United States, especially in the western United States, that's being taking place at this point in time on the levees. If you have not taken a tour of this particular levees that they're doing, I would absolutely encourage each and every one of you to sign up, take a tour, because after all, it is because of yourselves that we were able to pass this assessment for our community. We're getting federal, state, and local funds to get this levee fixed, number one, first of all. Secondly, you never ever believe everything that you read in the paper. I think the paper had the article that came out that levee costs balloons up to $17 million. And I just want to tell you that I think if on a worst case scenarios, if everything goes the wrong way, then I think costs can go up to $17 million. Costs are not at $17 million. When they originally budgeted the project, they had anticipated perhaps finding maybe 2 Indian burial sites, and to this date they found 15 of them. And so that requires a lot of archaeologists, that requires a lot of digging, that requires certifications, that requires a lot of equipment moving. You got to stop that section, you got to unarm the entire equipment, move it back again where it needs to go. So their true cost, I believe, that they've incurred over budget in the sense is about $4 million to date. But as far as an overall project savings from what they thought would cost, they're saving some money on it. So our goal as far as representing the city's interest, the vice mayor and myself, along with other agencies, is that by the time it's all said and done, that we actually end up with a savings, not an overage on that particular cost. So that's something.
One other point too, and the mayor mentioned that when we put out the environmental documents on this project, there were 2 identified sites, and we reached out to the different Indian tribes and asked them to identify any sites that they may know. Well, unfortunately, they don't want to do that until the last minute. So it was not identified in the environmental documents until we started moving ground, and then they were there and said, here's a map.
Yeah, and it's
You'll
amazing.
find them here. So we did what we could do to try to identify those and budget for those. But when you don't have that information, you can't budget for it. So just to let the public know that we were doing what we could do, but there's some things you can't do if you don't know the information.
And some of the sites that they were identified were on the maps that the Indian tribes did provide us, but there were many sites that were not even on their maps either. So it's not something that they knew. But again, it's a great project. It's moving forward. Great steam. So please take a look out at that project that's happening right here on Live Oak Boulevard. You can see the dirt level down. So take a look at it. With that, I have nothing else to report other than I thought it was very, very nice for the Martins to be here and come and accept the proclamation and a key to our city, because they've definitely helped us increase our image for the city of Yuba City and the awareness, and especially want to say thank you to all of our community members who've come out and supported California Chrome, because we definitely wouldn't have been able to do it without the support of our community and our sponsors. So great job there. With that, meeting's adjourned.